You want to change how you see life. You want to change how you interact with the world. You got to pay attention to what you put in this guy up here. What you watch on your phone, what you watch on the TV, what you listen to on the radio or your podcast, all that is nutrition for the brain, right? If you're constantly watching the fucking news, guys, like I got so many clients, man, I'm like, they come up to me like, right, I just don't feel motivated anymore. I have, I feel anxiety throughout the day, and I feel angry with my family and my friends constantly. I'm like, man, well, what are you putting into your head? They're like, what do you mean, what am I putting in your head? Like, what positive messages do you listen to throughout the day? They're like, I don't know. I said, what do you listen to? Do you watch the news? So yeah, it's like, how much news time do you catch a day? Well, I get caught up with what's going on in today's world. I'm like, why do you have to be caught up today? Why do you have to watch the shit live, what's going on today? I think it's very good to be, in the loop of what's going on in the world. You don't want to be, blinded. I'm not saying hide behind a curtain, but I'm saying you don't have to fill your head up with hours and hours and hours of fucking news, man. Like, that shit's negative stuff. No wonder you feel depressed. No wonder you feel anxiety. If you're someone that wants to be caught up in what's going on in the world, which I think is important, you should care what's going on with other people. That's it also gives you awareness of what might be coming in the future. But you can catch the highlights of what happened yesterday. There's these apps and websites, man. I don't recommend checking the first thing in the morning, but maybe, during the lunchtime, okay, let me see the highlights or the conclusion of what happened yesterday. Boom, 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 boom. There's a website that probably has, the top 5 things that happened yesterday. You read it. It takes 10 minutes. You're done with the news, man. Don't turn that shit on the rest of the day. If you want to catch, you want to fill your head with some positive message, go watch, someone like Tony Robbins, Ed Mylett, Greg Plitt, Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar. They're like, oh, right, that's all motivation, voodoo shit and stuff like that. But that works, man. What you put in your head is how you interact with the world. It's how you see the world. It is your duty to plant seeds in your head and water them. Man, you plant nightshade, which is a poison. You plant those seeds in your head, and then you water it constantly with more negativity, with more anger, with more anxiety. Your life is going to be dark and depressed. But if you start planting seeds of an oak tree of motivation and stuff like that, and you water that with more motivation, you water that with more inspiration, you water that with more positive books and positive messages and positive podcasts, man, you're going to have a positive outlook on the world. And then catching up on what happened yesterday with the news, the highlights, you can still have that in the back of your mind. Like, yeah, there's still danger out there. Yeah, people are still suffering. Maybe I can do something about that. But you're not Superman. You're not going to fly around from country to country. But what you can do is you can influence your inner circle. You can take care of yourself. You can make your life better. And if you can make your life better, maybe you can make someone else's life better. And then that person can make someone else's life. And that's how you change the world, guys. You don't change the world by paying attention to what's going on over here and then talking about it with your friends about the news, and you're consuming more news and you're just talking negativity. Why don't you come up with a game plan to make your kids' school better, make your job atmosphere better, make your gym atmosphere better? Whatever it is, guys, man, you need to have some positive outlook on life. And by doing that, you got to plant seeds and water it daily. All right, so if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling depression, man, like I said, I talk this with my clients all the time. Like, we all, and I'm guilty of it, man. Like, there's podcasts that I watch that keep you up to date with what's going on in the world. And I'm watching it, man, and they're talking about, what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Russia, and what's going on in Ukraine. And you just get consumed, with what's going on. And all of a sudden, 3 hours pass, man, you watch this fucking podcast, and yeah, you were entertained with this negative shit that's going on in the world. And then when you ask yourself, am I better for it? Most of the time, the answer is no. You're not better for it. You're informed, but you're not better for it. I would have had a more productive day than if I would have went and caught the highlights, a 5-minute reel of what the shit happened yesterday. Boom, 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 boom. Caught up to date, done. I would have had a more beneficial day, a more productive day. if I were to watch an inspirational video on how to have a positive outlook on life, how to talk to people and influence people, how to organize, organizations that help people be better, like I would have been more beneficial to my day doing something like that than I am watching the news for 2 hours or 3 hours. So what I'm getting at, guys, is what you put in here matters. If you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling like you're snapping at your friends and your family and all the time like you're just constantly in a bad mood, pay attention to what's going on up here. Pay attention to what you're consuming. How much news are you consuming? Because like I said, the news is all negative shit compared to how much positive messages or content that's gonna build your craft. How much of that are you consuming compared to the news? All right, you got negative shit over here and you got positive shit over here. You should be informed of what's going on over here. Yes, catch the highlights of what happened yesterday. You don't need to be hour to hour updated. That's bullshit, guys. Like, you're gonna feel depressed and anxiety right away. Catch the highlights of what happened yesterday. That takes 5 minutes. Look up on a website, download an app that does it. I'm sure they have that shit. But then spend majority of your time, if you're gonna watch content, guys, make sure it's something positive. If you're gonna read, make sure it's something positive. Maybe it's a positive message. Maybe it's a motivation or inspirational message. Maybe it's something that's building your craft. If you're a coach, you're consuming content around coaching. If you're an engineer, it's stuff around being an engineer. If you're a doctor, maybe it's the latest stuff in the medical field. Fill your day up with stuff that's going to be beneficial to you and the world around you. The reason why you consume all this information over here, guys, it's addicting, man. It's addicting to all the negative stuff because it's a fear monger. Like you get scared about it, so you want to consume, see what's going on. They never feed you positive shit. They never give you a positive message, man. So you're constantly wanting more because you don't know what's going on in the world. It's fear. You gotta put the brakes on it, man. You gotta stop that. And you need to manually pick what's gonna go into your head. Pick the message. Find someone that's inspiring. Find someone that has a message that you want to hear. And follow that route, guys, man. You gotta pay attention. This guy up here, the nutrition you put in your brain is just as important, if not more important, than what goes on or what you put into your stomach.